forgive me, I'm suffering from humility, but we have tables and tents outside. If anybody would like to go outside to sit down, just go out the back door and go to the left. We've got 2 tents, tables out there, so you can have a yard. Thank you.
You know, a couple shades of tea.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
I hope you're doing it.
I just came in from work. I was in West Africa, really.
Well,
Would you like something we'll fix it before 7 o'clock.
I know you, man. How you doing? Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome each of you. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome each one of you here. Wasn't that a great reception that our team did? Upson stars for we are going to kill just about 2 or 3 minutes and make sure everybody has a ticket, because we have a door prize. And for the few of you that are here for the first time or maybe missed the time, this wood came from Upson County. It was probably cut somewhere about 1825 or 1830 off of Willis Road, which is in the northeastern end of the county. Was known many, many years ago as one of the business areas of the county. In fact, the road from Roberta to Barnesville comes through this community called Orchard Hill. It probably was put into a house. The people built this house. The people lived in this house, probably normally an old country home, had probably 4 or 5 generations. We figure that it takes about 25 years for a generation to 40, somewhere along in there. And then along came the modern America. We got to tear everything down and make it out of plastic. So, a good friend of mine that worked his entire working days for Thomaston Mills, and he was fixer in the plant itself. He had a very traumatic experience in his life. And when he was able to get things back together, his wife come home from work one evening, and she says, "Get in the car, Ralph." He put him in the car, and they rode around for probably an hour and a half, and he got to looking at old houses. He had a workshop. So that therapy of riding around and his wife being so patient with him, he got in his workshop and he has built many, many of these, and he gives them to us from the love of his heart to be a door prize at our Upson historical meetings. Does everybody have a ticket? We have some on the front row, Jeannie. And this is just coming right in time for blueberry season, if you want to put it outside, because it's not going to decay. I mean, you know, if this would have disappeared, it would have disappeared with termites and weather and all. You can set it out and walk on it every day. It'll outlive most any of us here. Mr. Gill's coming forward. It's just really a great delight to see you. We are just making such strides with the Upson Historical Society, with all the support we're getting. We have a great archivist, and she has some very capable help. So any of you people that would like to find out all about the black sheep in your family, we got it. We got it. And we will help you find it. But you're going to find a lot of good folks in your family when you start looking for that black sheep. You're going to find some very good folks that accomplished quite a bit. And that's why we're here tonight. This building that we are in is supported by 4 different entities. We have the Upson County, we have the City of Thomaston, we have the Thomaston-Upson school system, and we have the Upson Historical Society. We're all partners, and nothing could be more fitting that we have our reception tonight, this afternoon, and this meeting tonight to honor one of our school system's greatest students, then bring all of our people together to do that. Are we ready? We don't want to leave nobody out. Not a soul. Usually when I spin this, I throw about half of them out on the table, so I'm going to do it gingerly tonight. You know, I'm so big and strong until I tear most things up. Mr. Grady, would you step forward and take a ticket out for us? I got that mic on. I don't need a mic. All right, get your ticket. The sideshow is now. Ticket number 168504. 168504. Oh! Let's move right along with our program. We want to accept, we are having people that are beginning to give us a lot of stuff, a lot of valuable stuff, so we want to accept a painting that one of our lovely Upson County people did several years ago, and they're so graciously wanting to give it to us so that all of you people can enjoy it. So Mr. John Blevins.
And his wife. And my wife and his wife. Let me give you a little background, before you take the picture down. This took place when Penny Cliff contacted Ann Lewis, heard that she had done a painting of the Pettigrew White Stamp House, and she wanted to have some cards printed up so the Historical Society could earn some money. And Ann Lewis said, well, of course. And so then she got thinking about it. She said, well, maybe I could just donate the painting to the Historical Society. And this painting came about in West. I know we don't have much time, but I want to, since this is the Historical Society, I thought I'd go back kind of the beginning. Ann Lou's ancestors came over to this country. I'm just kidding. I don't know if you're familiar with a group of people in Thomaston called the Palette Pals. It's a group of artists. They meet each Wednesday at the Civic Center, and they paint together and do certain things. And they're the nicest, sweetest people in the world, and some of the most talented people. Well, they were contacted through the Artist Eye Exhibit Association in 2004, and they were asked if anyone would like to enter a painting of something in Georgia to go into this exhibit. Well, 4 of the members did. Ann Lou was one of them. She chose the Pettigrew House. And I don't remember the exact date, but at Clayton College, they had a reception, and all the artists were up there. There was quite a thing to do. But that was the first exhibit, and then the paintings traveled all over the state of Georgia, and finally ended up at the state fairground, and they were an exhibit there. So when Ann Lou thought about giving the paint, she contacted Wesley, and Wesley said, oh, we'll just make a big presentation. Ann Lou said, I don't want to do this presentation. And she kept fighting it off and everything. And so she did do the presentation. She made me do it. So this is the painting.
I'm going to hold it up so the people in the back of the class can see. You know, the teacher always puts the bad ones up front where everybody can see them. Isn't that beautiful? Thank y'all very, very much. That's very kind of y'all to do such a nice thing. Now, we can always use another member. I've never seen any organization that needed members any more than we do, because all of y'all have people in your background and you might want to research them. So if you would, before you leave tonight, you can, the upstairs, it's going to be open. You can pick up an application blank, and you can join. You can join individually, family, or lifetime. Now, I'll call on Betty Dawkins.
Before I give the report, can all of you hear? Can you? Usually when we have a program, after it's over, the ones in the back said, I couldn't hear a word that was said, so I'm giving you the chance tonight. The application's on the table right out here in the hallway, Wesley. They won't have to go back upstairs. And I'm membership chair, and I'd love to have your membership. I'd like to make a report for the nominating committee for the year June 1, 2006 through May 31, 2007. President, Mr. Wesley Brown. Vice President, Mr. Walter Brown. Secretary, Ms. Penny Cliff. Treasurer, Ms. Mary Williams. Corresponding Secretary, Ms. Jeannie Hayes. This is the report from the nomination committee at the March 2006 regular monthly meeting. These are placed in nomination for election for the year 2006 and 7, respectfully submitted by Don Jemison, chairperson of the nominating committee.
Thank you, Betty. Our charter says that we should open the floor for nominations of the floor. Are there any nominations from the floor?
Move the nomination be closed.
Nominations is moved to be closed. Any objection? So ordered. All members of the Upson Historical Society that would like to vote for this selection of officers, let it be known by raising your right hand. Thank you. All opposed? So ordered. We're so grateful tonight to have brought our entities together. So we have asked our superintendent of our school system if he would come and be our master of ceremony. We're right proud of him, so we want to show him off. And I present to you Dr. Howard Henry.
Thank you, Wesley, and of course you got off to a good start allowing me to win the door prize. Boy, what a great occasion to be here tonight. It's just phenomenal, and I had an opportunity to talk to some of the children here tonight, and you know, many times the community will come together and rally behind sports teams, you know, football or baseball or whatever, but gosh, isn't it just delightful that as you look at the scrapbook and you see that the town completely came together to honor this person for an academic endeavor, a spelling bee, a national champion. So what a wonderful thing that she was there. And really, and Wesley and I were talking, we were just amazed at some of the words that were called out during that time. They were very difficult words, so I'm sure it took quite a bit for this young girl from little Sunnyside School in rural Upson County to go and become a national spelling bee champion. You know, in our business, we encounter a lot of things. We're going to introduce some people here at a later point in the program, but I have to tell you, or want to tell you about a conversation I had very recently. As school superintendent, you know, you deal with problems quite a bit, and all kinds and varieties of problems. And I had a situation very recently where a child had gotten into a fight at school, and these were two fifth graders, and the parent of one of the children came up to the superintendent's office and said, I want you to punish that other child. And that other child was the instigator. And I said, well, I understand that, and you know, we're going to look at punishment. She said, that child really needs a good spanking. I said, well, yeah, that very well may be. And I said, we'll consider that. She said, I'm a strong advocate of capital punishment. And I thought, my heavens, ma'am, that may be a bit extreme. But things like that do happen, and you do run into this. I want to take a liberty, too, if I can, and just, I want to say some very positive things about our historical society here and the fine work. As you know, and Wesley's already been, you feel the energy when Wesley gets there. Wesley does an outstanding job in leading this organization as president, and certainly Penny Cliff for the work you do. They really value history in this county and this city, and we just appreciate that work. And I don't know that gets said often enough, Penny and Wesley, but you do, and it certainly does not go unnoticed. We appreciate the fine work you do, and thank you. And it's well beyond what you see tonight if you're just visiting. They send out a newsletter, Penny, and I always like to read the I Remember When. That is just a wonderful little column, and people treasure that in this community. But it says a lot about our community that we value history. Now, I'm going to move along at this point, and if you will indulge me, I'm going to ask some people if you would come forward at this time. And we've got some, I'll do some introductions, and we've got some resolutions that we'll be presenting. But I would like to ask the children of Mattie, Pollard, Cato, and they're here tonight. They traveled to come be with us tonight, and how honored we are to have them, and how proud I know they are of their mother. Stephen D. Cato and Sherry Trieber, if you would just come forward and just stand here. We're going to ask you to be here for a little while, if you don't mind. But this time, I would like to introduce our mayor of Thomaston, Mayor Hayes Arnold, if he'll come forward with the resolution.
Thank you, Howard, and thank you, Wesley, for the outstanding job you do, and to our entire Historical Society for the excellent work you do for the community. We appreciate it very much. It's my pleasure, on behalf of the City Council of Thomaston, the City of Thomaston, the people of the City of Thomaston, to present you this resolution. And I would read this as, whereas Mattie Lou Pollard Cato, one of 9 children of Mr. and Mrs. Nathan Pollard, was born and raised in the western part of Upson County, and whereas Mattie Lou attended a one-room schoolhouse known as Sunnyside, where she was taught for 8 grades by Mrs. G.H. Ethel Phillips And whereas Mattie Lou was the 1946 Georgia State Spelling Champion and placed 7th in the National Spelling Competition. And whereas Mattie Lou in 1947, at the age of 14, repeated as the Georgia State Spelling Champion, and then went on to win the Scripps Howard National Spelling Competition in Washington, D.C. by correctly spelling the word chlorophyll. And whereas Mattie Lou Pollard Cato, through her hard work and studies, brought recognition and honor to herself, her family, her school, and the county of Upson almost 59 years ago. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and City Council of Thomaston do hereby recognize and commend Mattie Lou Pollard Cato for her achievements and the recognition she brought to this county in 1947 and throughout her life. Witness thereof, the undersigned here will set their hands and seals this 18th day of April, 2006. Present this to you.
Thank you, Hayes. And at this time, I would like to introduce the Mayor of Yatesville, Mayor Cecil Boncrief, if he will come forward.
I'll, Mayor Arnold, appreciate the Historical Society. We don't dance. On behalf of the city of Yatesville, we have a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of Yatesville, Georgia. I won't read it because it's pretty much similar to the one that Mayor Arnold read. We did it on April the 10th, 2006 by the city of Yatesville. Cecil Moncrief, Mayor, James Ellington, Council Member, Wanda Dozier, Council Member, Johnny Ruffin, Council Member, Ronnie Riggins, Council Member, and Elmer Kent.
And at this time, I'll ask the Chairman of our County Commissioners, Mr. Glenn Collins. And Glenn, if you'll come forward.
And once again, our resolution from the County Commission is similar, but I would like to take a few minutes and read it. Whereas Mattie Lou Pollard Cato, one of 9 children of Mr. and Mrs. Nathan Pollard, was born and raised in the western part of Upson County, whereas Mattie Lou attended a one-room country schoolhouse known as Sunnyside, where she was taught for 8 grades by Mrs. G.H. Ethel Phillips, and whereas Mattie Lou was in the 1946 Georgia State Spelling Champion and placed 7th in the National Spelling Champion competition, and whereas Mattie Lou in 1947 at the age of 14 repeated as the Georgia State Spelling Champion and then went on to win the Scripps Howard National Spelling Competition in Washington, D.C. by correctly spelling the word chlorophyll. How many can spell chlorophyll? And whereas Mattie Lou is one of only 2 people from the state of Georgia who have won the national spelling competition since it began in 1925, and whereas Mattie Lou Pollard Cato, through her hard work and studies, brought recognition and honor to herself, her family, her school, and the county of Upson almost 59 years ago. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Upson County do hereby recognize and commend Mattie Lou Pollard Cato for her achievements and the recognition she brought to this county in 1947 and throughout her life. In witness whereof, the undersigned have hereto set their hands and sealed 11th day of April 2006, signed by all the county commissioners, Glenn Collins, Joel Pitts, Steve Hudson, Sandra Trice, Frank Spraggins, and I believe Steve Hudson is here tonight. Steve, you still here? You got away. So we'd like to present the stick. Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry to do this to you, but also, I almost forgot, this is very important. This is key to everything in the city. I think, Howard, if I'm not mistaken, Mattie Lou received a pasteboard
Yes.
key that was painted gold, I think, and of course, over the years, that would deteriorate, and so we just wanted to replenish that key.
That's super. That's super, Mayor. Thank you, Hayes. Thank you for doing that. It's a kind gesture, too. Just as a point of interest, could I ask anyone who knew Mattie Lou Pollard, if you knew her, would you raise your hand if you knew her? Well, how wonderful, my heavens, wouldn't she be proud that all these friends have turned out? And how about Miss Ethel Phillips? If you knew Miss Phillips, would you raise your hand? Well, again, how wonderful, and what an honor for her as well. At this time, I have some other introductions. I would like to introduce the current Thomaston-Upson School spelling champion, if she'll come forward at this time. I think I saw her. There she is. Come on up here. Let everyone see you. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Erica Ikazaki, and she's a fourth grader, is that right? And she defeated a lot of upperclassmen to be the current spelling champion. So I'm quite sure that she has motivated a lot of other people, and of course we're very proud of her as well. And her parents, I believe they're here. If you will stand, please. Thank you very much. What an inspiration that is for you to be here tonight, and hopefully that you'll be inspired by Ms. Mattie Lou Pollard Cato as well. We also have, I want to introduce these people as well, Ms. Ann Wilkinson. She's the principal of Upson Lee North. Ms. Wilkinson, if you'll stand. And I know I saw several teachers. I had Ms. Sandra Eubanks' name down, but I also know that I saw Ms. Kim Bentley and Ms. Paula Hosey. If you'll please stand. Let's give them a round of applause. Ms. Wilkinson, anybody else that we need to recognize? Very good, very good. Well, thank y'all for being here, and I'm sure that Erica appreciates the tremendous support that she gets from you as well. Thank you, Erica, for being here tonight, too. I'll just share one other quick story with you. I did have a teacher who came to me. I was the principal of a high school for a number of years. And the teacher came to me one time and she said, "Oh, Dr. Henley," said, "I talked to this young man and talked to him, and I told him 1,000,000 times to be quiet, and he won't be quiet." And I sat there and I was thinking, well, wouldn't you think somewhere around, number 489,000, that you might have thought that didn't work. So that wasn't working. I was thinking, well, who is the slow learner in this scenario? But I didn't really. Sometimes it just pays to be professional. At this time, I'd like to ask Miss Penny Cliff if she will come forward, and let's find out who was Miss Ethel Phillips' Memories of a Special Teacher.
I'd like you to take a look at this picture right here. This is Mrs. Ethel Jessup Phillips when she was a lot younger. It's an absolutely gorgeous picture. So I'm going to pass this around so that you can look at this, so that you can actually see the face of the person I'm going to tell you about. The champion teacher of spelling champions began teaching in Upson County in 1937, and she retired in 1957. Before that, she taught in Bleckley County, and her teaching career spanned 50 years. The first school that she taught at in Upson County was Rowland, then Sunnyside, and finally Thurston. She was Mattie Lou's only teacher until Mattie Lou went to high school. Before heading off to Washington, D.C. to the National Spelling Bee in 1947 with Mattie Lou and her mother, Mrs. Phillips told City County Superintendent Mr. Golden Horston this: "She is better prepared than ever before." With Mrs. Phillips, she would be. Mrs. Phillips was armed with a collection of spelling books as they boarded the Silver Comet in Atlanta for Washington, D.C. Mrs. Phillips was an incredible woman. Not only did she coach Mattie Lou to victory in the 1946 and 1947 Georgia Spelling Bee, and to a glorious national win in 1947, but she tutored other students to success. From 1945 to 1958, her students placed first in Upson County spelling bees 10 different times.